So you test the universe, and maybe it doesn't work for you, or you're too late, or you don't have the right opportunity. But the universe tells you you're right, so you're encouraged. You know, when we were trying to do Hook, uh, I tried to. Everybody in town turned that project down.
Really?
Everybody.
Really?
They turned Dracula down too.
Did
Nobody
they
wanted to
really?
do Hook and Dracula. Nobody wanted to do a grown-up Peter Pan. Everybody thought Dracula had been done. To the
Wow.
point where my agency let me go because I was over 40 and I hadn't had anything really important done. No agency would hire me to represent me. This is while I'm writing Hook. I finally, started writing Hook and Dracula. Got a very
Yeah.
low, finally got a very low TV deal on Dracula and a very small deal on Hook with Nick Castle. And I'm writing those two scripts that nobody wanted to do.
That's insane.
And so my agents let me go. I can't get hired. I can't get a new agent. So I just went back to my old agent and said, just hang in there with me till I finish these, so I at least have something to show. So we finished Hook, um, and 6 weeks later, I finished Dracula. Um, I'll keep the story short, but I'm out of money and and was borrowing from friends while Hook was being read and while Dracula was being read, and we were visiting friends in Montana who had actually loaned us money to get
Yeah,
through
right.
this.
Yeah.
And in those days we had answering machines and no cell phones. I mean, if you had a cell phone, it was the size of a
A
brick.
brick.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a
And we were in
suitcase.
Montana, we were at a Cadillac Jack's eating hamburgers, and I was hoping my credit card worked. The family's
Oh,
there, and I go down to the payphone. Yes, payphones.
wow.
So I'm checking with my agent and I had checked in, and there was a message on the answering machine in New York. Please call me. It's important. You know,
Yeah.
they know how to reach you. So you always had to check your answering machine. I called John Levin, my agent. He got right on the phone, which doesn't normally happen. Usually it's they're in a meeting, they'll call you back.
Yeah.
Um, and he said a very important director wants to do Hook, and I said, well, we have a director. We've got Nick Castle who did Last Starfighter. And he wasn't huge, but he was wonderful to work with.
Yeah.
And John said, no, this is important. I said, well, if it's not Steven Spielberg, we're not having this conversation. He said, that's who it is.
Really?
So
Oh
I
my
got to go
God.
back upstairs, and with the family's all, well, because I was like
Wow.
sitting down and saying, well, Steven Spielberg is going to direct Hook. And it's like, what? So
Wow.
nobody in town wanted to do that script.
You drove it forward.
Dracula 6 weeks later, my same agent, John Levin, gives Dracula to Winona Ryder in a stack of about 50 scripts. And Dracula was developed as a TV movie by my friend Karen
Oh.
Moore, who literally started my career this way.
Yeah.
And she got the script and she said, Jim, we can't make this for $2.5 million. I said, I know. She said, but I'm going to give it back to you for a year, which nobody does in our town anymore. I'm going to give you
Yeah.
the right to go set it up. But if it's not set up in a year, I have to take it back and you're not going to like what we do to it.
Really?
So almost to the last week of that year, Coppola signed on. Um, Winona had read the script and loved it. When they came back and said, "What do you want to do?" She said, "I want to do Dracula." And they go, "Well, why? It's been done 100 times." I said, "Have you read the script?"
Yeah.
So she
Yeah.
got it to Coppola. She called up Francis and asked him to read the script because they had misfired on Godfather 3, and she wanted him to give her his opinion. Should I do that? I want to grow up a little bit. I want to play an older part. I want to be more serious. And he called her back and said, "Yeah, you should do this part." And oh, by the way, who's directing? And at that
Right.
point, nobody was directing. So 6 weeks later, I get the same phone call from John Levin. Coppola wants to meet you to talk about Dracula. Again, even with Coppola and Winona on board, every studio turned that project down. until it got to Sony and Peter Guber. So I had two scripts that nobody in the industry wanted to do, and I mean my agent tried. We got turned down everywhere, and suddenly
Wow.
two of the greatest directors in history were doing them.
That's
So that's
amazing. And
so that's the universe. That's the universe telling you,
in no
giving you some
uncertain terms.
encouragement, giving you some
Yeah.
encouragement. Keep going, keep doing. So, and that
Yeah.
changes. I
But
mean,
you drove
I'm
that.
well. I actually drove my family crazy
I'm
and my
sure.
agents
Yeah.
crazy. But it came from a lesson I learned from my brother. Who we lost very early in life. Who basically
Mm.
said to me, "Stop talking about all the things you're going to do and start doing them because you don't have as much time as you think."
Right.